Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Books with BethX here, and as you can see by the title, as always, we are going through the books I am unhauling. So if you missed my last video where basically I was reorganising my bookshelves, I'll try to link it up here. I don't know if the links are actually working at the minute, but I'll try and link it up here. Here's my previous video, you should be able to easily go back and find it. But basically I reorganised my bookshelves, not that you can see them, but I've basically done like a nice rainbow shelf. I've given myself more space. I've actually moved them around a little bit more since that video, so now the shelf below the fantasy one is completely empty other than this book here, and I've moved the classics over to like the non-fiction bit, and it's just so much more cohesive now, and I've got loads of room for all my fantasy books are upstairs. But because of that, I have unhauled a lot of books. I've got a big stack of books here, and what I'll do is obviously show them all in this video. I'm also going to do a post on my TikTok and my Bookstagram as well with these on here, and basically if you want to buy any of them or do a book exchange with me or anything like that, let me know, because I've got a few here that are quite popular that you may want. Obviously if I do sell them, it'll be cheap, it'll match like the market rate on Vinted probably. That's where I'll post them, because I think that's where a lot of people put their books for sale. But yes, shall we begin? Do you want to see what books I'm getting rid of? Let's go. So I'm going to start with quite a popular YA dystopian series, and it is one that's been turned into a film. I actually prefer the films to the books, which is why I don't think I'll reread these ever. I have a whole stack of 5 books here, and they are this can be really difficult to hold, the Maze Runner series. Now I enjoyed them for what they were. I believe I read them on holiday. I don't know if I was in Greece maybe, so it wasn't too bad. I took a few of them with me away. I just feel like the films are better, to be honest, which is very rare to say for books, but basically this is the Maze Runner series. If you haven't heard of it, it's like a very dystopian YA series where a boy wakes up in the middle of this maze, and if you go into the maze you're most likely going to be killed. It only opens at certain times and things like that, and there's all boys living in the middle of it, and they sort of have to fend for themselves, and that's sort of where the series starts. And yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's an okay series. I'm not really selling this very well, am I? I think it would really suit someone who is into the YA dystopian era, you know, like Maze Runner, Divergent, Sci-fi maybe, but I think Sci-fi's a lot better than this. To be honest, I think Divergent and Hunger Games are both better than this as well. But if you want all the books for a bargain, all of them, then let me know. I mean, I think the last 2 are like short stories. Well, not short stories, they're still like full length, but I've got a whole series here, so yeah, let me know. But yeah, I'm unhauling these. They took up a lot of space, as you can imagine, and I'd rather have books that I absolutely love on my shelves. So obviously I've kept the Hunger Games because that is like my favourite YA dystopian series ever written. But you never know, you might enjoy this more than I did. So yeah, I'm getting rid of these. The next book is one of my more controversial books that I had on my shelves, which I'm very happy to be getting rid of at this point. It is a historical fiction that is allegedly based off a true story, and I don't think actually is, and that is The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Now this allegedly follows a man called Leo Sokolov, who was, I believe, a Jew, if I remember correctly, and he was placed into the Auschwitz concentration camp, and when he was in there he managed to get promoted up to be a tattooist, which comes with a lot of privilege. But the author, Heather Morris, there's been a few bits of controversy about her like sort of embellishing some of the finer details and in not being very truthful, because he's a Jew, so he's still going to be treated pretty badly in there even if he is a tattooist. Like, why is being a tattooist give him a higher level than other workers in the camps, if you know what I mean? As there's been a lot of controversy around that, and also about whether she'd been given permission to write the books as well, because there's other books after this one. So yeah, I'm happy to get rid of this off my shelves, and I think, to be honest, I'm probably just going to donate it to a charity shop, because I don't think anyone really should buy it. So I'd rather just like lose whatever I spent on it than try and get the money. Not that I'm trying to get money back for any of these, but you know what I mean. So yeah, getting rid of this one 100%. I'm slowly like purging the controversial books off my shelves, and I think I'm pretty much there with them, to be honest. So yeah, getting rid of this one. So next up is actually another historical fiction, and that is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. Now I read this back in sixth form, I think, when I was 16 or 17. It's quite in a bit of a rough state, so maybe I'll donate this one. But basically this is a historical fiction set in Victorian England, where you follow 2 girls. One is an orphan who turns to a life of crime, and the other is a rich girl living in luxury. and the orphan comes up with a plot to basically steal from the rich girl by working as like a handmaid or something like that. But the girls get very, very close, and yeah, it's quite good. I will recommend reading this. It's just probably not something I will reread again, just because I've got other historical fictions that I'd rather read and a lot of other books that I'd rather read. But overall, it's an enjoyable one. It's also sapphic, so you've got that going for it. But yeah, it's a good book. I do recommend it. It's just not something I think I'd reread at this point. So next up, I've got 2 books by the same author. One that I really enjoyed and another that I read last year and absolutely hated. I did read it all, so I had to give it a 2-star, because basically if I DNF a book, it's a 1-star. If I finish it, I have to give it a 2-star, but I hated a lot of the book. I don't know why I didn't DNF it. It was before I started DNFing books. And that is Conversations with Friends and Normal People, both by Sally Rooney. Now, Normal People is one I really enjoyed. Conversations with Friends, but to be fair, the Normal People TV show is really good, so I probably will just stick with that. Whereas I haven't even watched Conversations with Friends yet. I know it's got Joe Alwyn in it, playing the annoying male actor in the book, but it's just yeah, I just did not like this one. It sort of tainted my love for this one, and to be honest, I don't think I'll read Is it Beautiful World, Where Are You? At this point, maybe I'll get it as an ebook, I'm not sure. But I do know a lot of people do enjoy this, and they sort of don't mind the issues I had with it. I just didn't like the main character, and I think I'm okay usually with a morally grey or a disliked main character. Like I would say I loved Junie in Yellowface, but obviously I loved reading that, and you absolutely hate her. It's just that there was zero growth and the character just didn't change, and she was still making the same mistakes like months on. But yeah, I know a lot of people do enjoy this, so if you want these books, I've got both of them here, let me know, or go on my Vinted or whatever. But yeah, I'm getting rid of both of my Sally Rooneys. So we've got another classic now. It's another one that I actually had to read for university, and that is The Little Sister by Raymond Chandler. This is sort of like an LA noir crime thriller type book. It's just not really my genre, and I only had it because I read it at uni. But I will say, so during lockdown I lived with my grandparents, and my granddad had run out of books to read, and I was like, why don't you read this? Because I was like looking through my shelves trying to see if there's anything he'd like, and he really enjoyed this. So if it's quite a masculine sort of crime book, so if you're into those sort of things, or like, what's he normally read? Like Lee Child and James Patterson and stuff like that. If you're into those books, you might enjoy this as well, because that's the sort of thing he reads. I don't think I'm ever going to read it, so there's no point keeping it on my shelves, to be honest. So next up, I've got a couple of like dystopian style ebooks. So the first one is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, which in theory I should enjoy because it's set during World War II, but it just wasn't really for me. And also Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Again, should have been for me, but wasn't really. It's a Harper Voyager book. I do love my dystopian sort of, like 1984, Handmaid's Tale. Actually, I wasn't a big fan of Handmaid's Tale. I might have to reread that and see what I think of it again now that I'm a bit older. What else did I enjoy? Brave New World is really good. Those sort of books I used to love. I used to live for those stories. But I read Fahrenheit 451 and also Catch-22, and I was just like, meh. They're just not really for me, I don't think. So yeah, I'm sure they'll go to a better home. Another thriller now, this is Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. This is really good, I really enjoyed this. I just don't think I'll read it again knowing the twist, even though I did guess the twist anyway. But basically I think there's actually a film of this. I think this is like the movie cover. Is that Nicole Kidman? Yeah, it's Nicole Kidman, Colin Firth and Mark Strong. Ooh, I like Mark Strong. Well, I like all three. This is basically about a woman who every time she goes to sleep forgets everything that she lived the day before, and for the rest of her previous life as well. Basically, she's trying to work out what's real, what isn't, who can she trust? Can she trust her husband? Can she trust her doctor? And she basically starts leaving herself notes every day, and every day she has to read through all of her diary entries and relearn what she's learned before. Yeah, this is really, really interesting, really scary though. It's that sort of concept where you forget everything, and it's just, yeah, I do recommend giving this a read though. But yeah, this one's a little bit battered and damaged. I think I got it from a charity shop, so I might redonate this. But yeah, I do recommend this book. I just don't think I'll read it again knowing the twist already. Now we're on to a couple of YAs. The first one is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I think that's how I pronounce it. There's now a film based off this. It's the Love Simon film. I enjoyed this, but I just feel like I'm too old for it now. It's basically about a gay boy who is outed based on conversations with another gay boy in his school or something like that. I really enjoyed this. I just feel like now that I'm 27, I don't think it's something I'm going to either reread, nor is it something that really will appeal to me anymore, if that makes sense. But if you're a teenager, or even in your early 20s, you might really enjoy this. And then The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Again, I'm surprised at how well this copy is, because I definitely bought this when it started kicking off in the Tumblr era when I was 14. So my copy is almost like it's over 10 years old, and it's still pretty good condition. There's not really anything I can say about this. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what it's about. There's a really good film of it as well. I just feel like, once again, like with Simon, I'm just too old for it now, so I might as well just get rid of it and make some more space on my bookshelves. But yeah, if you want any old popular YA books, let me know. And then these final two are sort of outliers in the pile, because neither of them are prose. So first up, we got John Clare's poetry collection. Again, I think this is from sixth form, and it is in pretty good condition, and I had to flick through and I don't think I've annotated it, so it's like almost brand new. It's probably one I'm going to donate to a charity shop, because I can't imagine anyone here wants to buy a John Clare poetry collection, but I thought I'll include it on this video anyway, just for completeness, you know. And then I've also got a play, Taste of Honey by Sheila Delaney. Yeah, Sheila Delaney. I don't think I even read this. I definitely bought it at university based on that £2 off sticker. Came out in 1958. About a 19-year-old. Was made into a film, apparently. Yeah, it's just not. I don't really read anything other than prose at the minute. I do want to try and maybe get some poetry. Maybe I'll make a goal of reading one poetry book next year. We'll see. But yeah, it's just not for me anymore. But if you want it, then let me know. Otherwise, it'll be going to a charity shop. So that is it. That's all the books I have unhauled from my bookshelves that I will either be donating or selling or book swapping or whatevering with. I hope you enjoyed. Have you read any of these books? What are your thoughts? Did you enjoy them? Please let me know. And also, I apologise for the shortness of some of the videos lately, even though my last one was quite long. Basically, I'm working on a very big Taylor Swift related video at the minute, and it's taken quite a lot of work and a lot of time. If you watch my folklore video, it's going to be quite similar to that, so yeah, keep an eye out for my latest Taylor Swift album video. But yeah, hopefully that'll be out by the end of this month. I'm hoping, praying. But yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.